Hello and welcome to the Nitroglycerin Sunday Cup. Today's race is at Brands Hatch, a circuit meticulously shaped over the decades, and according to Gerhard Berger, the best circuit in the world. And what better way to begin than with an onboard look at a lap of the course. Starting on the Brabham Straight, we barrel forward at great velocity to the treacherous Paddock Hill Bend, a downward right-hander that has seen more than its fair share of visitors into the Brabham. Accelerating hard down to Druid's Hairpin, absolutely critical to hit the brakes at just the right moment and gently squeeze the throttle more and more for maximum speed into Graham Hill Bend. It's a banked left-hander with a generous exit curve into the Cooper Straight, and here's where drivers will be very anxious for a good line into Surtees. Once we've gotten into Surtees, we begin to wind uphill. Drivers will be aiming for as much exit speed as possible for the longest straight of the circuit. There's a kink at the top of the hill here, and some drivers will get a little dirt on their tyres as they try to scrape precious tenths of seconds. Pilgrim's Drop and then rushing up Hawthorne Hill. It's a hard dab on the brakes to turn in for a long sweeping right that's tough on the tyres. Now the approach to Westfield. Brake, turn, and then rush through the corner and down to the Dingle Dell before climbing once more to Sheen Curve at the peak here. Drivers will be carrying as much speed as possible through this part of the circuit, on the way down to Stirling's, a 90-degree bend that takes us into the final straight. And here it's a rush. It's a rush down the hill, under the bridge, towards the final turn. The sweeping right-hander Clark Curve, more strain on the front left tyre as we push hard for a good speed through Brabham Straight. And now as we wind up the slope, the finish line comes into sight, and we complete a lap of Brands Hatch. Now, here we are for the qualifying session ahead of the main event. All the drivers have already done the outlap, those that are out on circuit at the moment. Some have yet to join the track, some I dare say are now on their outlap, but we're following the first drivers out of the pits. They are Double Apex in Jaguar, the grey one, the number 93, and here's the Toyota, the number 27, driven by Riot. He's really doing his best to put in a very fast time, using every available inch of the circuit. Now, here's Ladinator following in the Purple Jag, and 5 here in the Dodge Viper. You can see they're all using as much curb there as possible. Now, here's Double Apex again, the number 93. Not quite using much of the curb there. It seems that Riot behind him is taking more full advantage. Now, we're in the fast part of the circuit now, carrying as much speed through these turns as possible. Up to the crest of the last part of the circuit, wind downhill again, and charge off towards the final turn. Now then, this is the first flying lap, as I mentioned, and we'll be able to see what kind of times they set. Now, for these cars on this circuit, we're really looking at something under 1 minute 30. Now, this time, 1:32, and it's immediately beaten, 1:28.646. Now that is a time that will be difficult to beat, even in the best of circumstances. And it seems that the F-Type has been beaten also by Ladinator in the Lancer Evolution. There they go. It seems that number 93, Double Apex, is using a little bit of a less conservative line now, probably trying for as much speed as possible. He's seen what the baseline is, he wants to go faster. Now there's Kaladin there, coming into his first flying lap. Now, here back with the top 2 contenders again. It's number 27, I believe, benefiting from the aerodynamic wake of Double Apex, possibly to get an even faster time. He flawlessly zooms around the outside, and it seems that he's going to get an even faster time than the first one. There's 5 dashing around. He's got the second best time so far, having beaten all except for Riot, 0.26 seconds behind. There's Legionator now, going down towards the final turn. It seems the 86, the Toyota 27 has gone into the pits. He's using soft compound tyres for qualifying. Some drivers may prefer using harder compounds because they'll want the feel of the car to be as close as possible to the car in race conditions. Now there are 3 tyre compounds that drivers can use for the race and for qualifying. Soft, medium and hard, and obviously the softer ones get better grip, enabling faster lap times. However, they do wear out quite significantly faster, and so that strategy, using soft tyres, would need more pit stops. Now we have a grouping of cars here, the purple Mitsubishi of Ladinator, Riot coming out for another lap, and now let me see. Who else? No, it's just these two here at the moment, but there's a third car no, here he is. Number 5, the one in between them. And they're catching up with number 18, Kaladin, in the Mercedes. Ladinator again. Skipping over that curb there. There's no penalty for skipping that curb as long as you don't go too far. He's gone off the track. That's his lap somewhat marred there, not to say ruined. And here's number 3, 5's teammate. This is KRD, and I'm not positive whether this is his out lap or the flying lap. Okay, it seems that he's been lapping a little while now, but his current lap isn't very good, not compared to his previous. Now, here is Ladinator. He's really pushing the car to the limit there, even hitting the grass there, I believe, just scraping some dirt along the outside of that curb. Now, coming up to the line. Now, let's see if Riot has managed to put in an even faster lap than before. No, he has not. That wasn't Ladinator. That was, in fact, his teammate Chugi. Chugi, who is in 4th position, it seems, at the moment, for the qualifying position. Now, here in the yellow car, Olof Alberg, and he's just about to set a lap. Possibly better than his previous lap, but we'll have to see. And he'll have crossed the line by now. I don't think he has set a better lap. Now then, there's a yellow flag at the moment. I'm not sure. There seems to be a car that's sort of parked off the track there. Most unusual. You can see on the track map that there is a blue arrow off the lines. It seems possibly one of the drivers waiting for an opportunity to go for a hot lap when the track is clear. I have no idea at all. Now then, who are we following at the moment? Oh, it's Ladinator. He's gone off course. He's gone off that now, off Paddock Hill Bend. It is very, very easy if you're pushing hard to just fall off the outside of the corner, and then it's very tricky to get on track without an incident if there are other cars nearby. Now it seems that he may just be practicing at the moment, trying to push to the very limits to see what he can and cannot get away with. He's just been overtaken there. Now, here is Riot in the pits, going for more soft tyres, I believe. And there's his teammate Chugi. No, I had it exactly the wrong way around. It was Chugi going in for tyres, and this is Riot, who's not yet had his time been beaten or improved upon. He's still 0.26 seconds ahead of the driver in second place, who is 5 in the Dodge Viper. In the pits at the moment, going for more tyres, Olof in the Atenza, the yellow car. And here are 2 of the top contenders gunning for a new lap, a new hot lap, certainly in Ladinator's case, but let's see how the others do.
Right, now then, who are we following here? He seems to be in, not driving very fast, obviously, either on an out lap or an in lap. It's Double Apex, number 93. Overtaken there, like a absolute blur by one of the Dodge Vipers. Now, here he comes. It's certainly a magnificent looking car, and the car we're now following, Dodge Viper, in number 2 position, it's 5, and he's really going for it. But it doesn't appear, well, we'll know when he gets to the next timing sector, I suppose, but it doesn't quite look as fast as his previous laps have been. He's careening through. Oh no, it is a good lap. It is his best, but only by a small factor. But now he's gone off onto the grass, rather ruining his attempt at a new hot lap. Up until then, it had been going a little better, but only by a few hundredths of a second. It doesn't seem that 5 has been able to beat his previous best. He's actually 0.3 seconds behind his previous best lap time, it seems. Now, here is Wyatt's, I believe, and he's beaten his first sector best, which is a very promising start. It seems he's gone a little wide on that curve there. May not have lost very much time. We'll have to see in the second sector. He's beaten that time as well. 0.267 seconds ahead of his previous best. It seems he may even go on to beat the session record in the closing stages of this qualifying session. 0.079 seconds ahead of his previous time. Now remember that he's gone off. He's gone off on the gravel, but it doesn't look like it's cost him very much time at all. Remember that Wyatt was the fellow who set the fastest time right at the beginning of the session, and he's well on course to repeat his acts right at the end of it almost. There's 12:29 at 12:30 on the clock, only a couple of minutes left to go until the end of qualifying. Here he is, rushing round, and does he do it? What's the time? 1:28.218. Incredible! That's definitely a time that will be very, very, very difficult to beat. Now then, it's going into the last 3 minutes of this qualifying session, and there's several drivers out on track at the moment. But will they or will they not be able to beat such a time as that? Now here's 5 in the Dodge Viper. He's certainly going for it, but I'm not sure that his current lap is as good as his previous. It does look very, very good through there, on the other hand. Now here's his Ladinator in the Mitsubishi Lancer, also very keen to get a better time than previously had. He's just under half a second behind 5 in the Viper, and over a full second. No, this is not a very good lap for him. Now here's Chugi in the pits. It seems that he's got a very badly scuffed fender there. He probably got into some kind of incident. Heading out again, probably for a little bit of practice before the beginning of the race. But before we go on to the main event, there is a little clip here of the pace car gathering all the cars, so while the organiser arranges the grid order, being unceremoniously dumped into the grass by Polluted, one of the Mercedes drivers. That would have earned a grid penalty, but I believe he was already at the back of the standings. And that's it for qualifying.
Welcome back. This is the Nitroglycerin Sunday Cup at Brands Hatch. 26 lap race, and here's the grid. From qualifying, first and second on the grid, Riot and 5 Signs Sport. Second row, it's Ladinator in the Mitsubishi and Chugi Jr. in the Toyota. Next row, 5th and 6th, No Sleep in Tokyo in the 31 Honda and Double Apex in the Jag. Next up, it's the next Dodge Viper, KRD and Olof Alberg in the Mazda. Then it's Jers in the Honda. It seems that the Honda's had a little bit of a mix-up at the paint shop, and the other Jag alongside, and then the 2 Mercedes at the back of the grid, as there were 2 drivers who did not arrive to be qualified for this race. Here we are, the start of the Nitroglycerin Sunday Cup at Brands Hatch. The pace car sets off. Now, what will happen is these cars will all do one formation lap. It seems that one of the cars at the back, one of the Mercedes, has stalled, or possibly there's just no one at home. We follow the first car here. Now, if that driver manages to get his car started, he can of course rejoin the pack, which is spread out a little chaotically here. They should be able to sort themselves out in due course. Now they go weaving around some of them in order to warm their tyres up. It seems there's some trouble at the back there. It seems that one of the Jaguars, now let's see, which one would it be? It would be the Jaguar of Delinquent, yes, in the number 82, and that's Kaladin. Hesitant to drive past, giving him a chance to catch up, and it seems he's getting started. He's not out of the race after all. But there's no sign of the second Mercedes driven by Polluted. Now he comes through there. We're back with the pace car, and the drivers behind weaving around, entering the nice long straight, where there'll be plenty of time to space out, get some heat into those tyres. Now, I can't tell from here who is carrying hard or soft tyres. Now there are the 2 drivers at the back, catching up with the rest that you can just about see in the distance there. They will, in fact, be able to keep up. And it seems that the last driver, the one to be stalled on the back of the grid, has now left the circuit. Unfortunately, it seems he will not be racing with us today. Here then are the remaining drivers. And there's that red Honda again. As I say, it seems there was a mix-up at the paint shop or at the factory. It's supposed to be a black car, but red seems to work, I suppose. Right, now, here we come. It's nearly time for the beginning of the race. What will happen is that the pace car will dive into the pits, and then, as the lead car drives down the home straight, at some random interval, the signal for start will be given, and then cars will be allowed to overtake. Here they are weaving back and forth just to get that vital bit of heat into their tyres, hopefully without wearing them out too much. Now there goes the pace car into the pit lane, and we're waiting for the off, and it's go! Here they come, speeding through. It seems that Fives is going for an overtake. No, he's not going to make it, not round the outside, not on Paddock Hill Bend. A little bit of dirt kicked up there. They all risk going off there. He dives, and then he's blocked. Riot manages to block the overtake. Now, let's see how they all form up. It's a little bit of instability there. It's a good clean start though. It doesn't seem that there's been much incident. Doesn't seem like there's been contact. Here he comes again. 5 on the inside, on the attack.
And there's Chugi, we're following him now, and it seems that there's a little group of 3 cars right at the front. It's practically neck and neck. There they go. Another little grouping just behind here with one of the Jags, and it seems, yes, he's done it. 5 has managed to take the lead. He'd been pushing from the very beginning of this race, and now he's got the lead. It seems Ladenator is having a go as well, but he hasn't quite succeeded. We're on board with him now. Yes, we're taking very aggressive lines through here. Now, here's the rest of the pack. Here's his teammates, Chugi, he's gone off. He's gone onto the gravel. He'll be, and the Mercedes has gone off as well. Oh, that sounded like a bump. It sounded like he was bumped into the back by the Mercedes there. Both of them had gone off. Bit of an unfortunate racing incident for the first lap. Now, here they are. They've completed 1 lap already. Now, here's Ladenator here. He's fallen a little behind there. A very, very cheeky pass there by 5s. Bumped him up a little bit, but I don't really see any paint scraped off there. It's certain to have rubbed him up the wrong way though. Now, here he comes. Is he going to be able to get a good pass on him later? Here's one of the Jags with Chugi. It seems that where's Chugi gone? He's vanished. He'd gone off the track. Now he's back on and has been overtaken by everyone. He's at the back now in 11th position and with a very beaten up looking car. Now there's Ladenator. He's managed to catch up a little with the cars in front, and the back looks like it's beginning to spread out a little. Oh, that's Jersey's just had a little wobble. It's enough for him to lose a position. Whoa! What happened there? It seems that Wyatt span and took 5s with him. What an upset, as those two were of course at the front of the pack. It seems that the pressure was just a little too much there. This has enabled Ladenator to go from 3rd to 1st in one fell swoop. He must be very, very, very happy about how things have turned out, and that will now be feeling the pressure as the hunter becomes the hunted. Now here on board with 5s, I believe, trying to make up places. He goes onto the curb there. Yes, he manages to outbrake and overtake. That's delinquent. He's managed to overtake in the Jaguar. Very, very clean pass there. Very, very nicely done. Now here they come, coming up towards Surtees. Round they go, nicely spaced out there. The top 8 cars. Well, I think more. Yes, all of the cars essentially seem to be very, very evenly spaced out, as you can see on the map. Now, here is Ladenator at the front, followed closely by the 2 cars of KRD, no, not KRD, sorry, of Tokyo and of, whoa, sorry, that was a little bit of a skid there, but he seems to have recovered. Now, there's Kaladin. He's in the back markers here, and he'll be fending off Chugi, who, as you recall previously. At the same time, there's a little battle for 5th going on here. We're on board with Wyatt, who's also trying to make up positions. Both of the Toyota drivers have made a fatal error very, very early on in the race, and they'll be struggling to make up positions now. Here's Ladenator. He's going through Druid's hairpin, closely followed by Tokyo. And there's, oh, he's gone off. Wyatt has gone off. He's gone off Druid's hairpin. Not too badly, but I do believe he's lost 1 or 2 places there. It's certainly not been a very good early part of the race for him. Now here's 5. Is that 5 or is it KRD? It's difficult to tell, honestly. Yes, the first driver was KRD. This here is 5. He's overtaken Olaf. He's going through here. Olaf in the yellow car. and they charge down toward Hawthorne. It's looking like a good lap by Olaf here. Whoa! It's Chugi. I believe Chugi has gone off again. A complete disaster for another disaster for the LOEG Toyota team. Now, and there's another off. It's let's see. It's one of the Vipers. I believe that's KRD. Yes, KRD has gone off there. Manages to get back on track, but he's lost an awful lot of time. Now let's see. Here he comes. What kind of time has he set? It's a 1:31. It's not a bad time, even though he did go off. Now here at the front of the pack again. It's the Lancer driven by Ladinator, very closely followed by Tokyo, and then the next group of cars. Someone's gone off. It's one of the Jags. One of the Jags has gone off. Probably double apex. We'll have to see. We'll have to see which number it is. Here's Chugi. He's managed to make up a little bit of time after his terrible disappointment. And there's the other Jag behind. Now let's see. This was this was double apex that went off. Indeed. Front runners again. Now then, there's a little bit of a gap that's opened up. It's some consistently good lap times here from Ladinator at the front, but it seems that he's had a little bit of a mishap with the dirt there. Nothing too serious. Now here's the 86 of Wyatt. He's really not doing so well so far. He's down to 8th. He did start first. He put in 2 blindingly good qualifying laps, but it seems that when it comes to the race, he's not doing nearly as well. Now there's Ladinator, and here are some of the other cars further back in a battle for 5th with Jers and Olaf really going at it. Now then, let's see. There they are. Now, I thought I saw someone going to the pits, but that wasn't the case. But here is Chugi and his teammate close. Well, whoa! There's been an accident. It's one of the Vipers. One of the Vipers. It's KRD. He's gone clean off, closely passed there by both of the Toyotas. He's also had his fair share of accidents so far in this race. Now it's lap 7 now. We're on the 7th lap of a 26 lap race, plus of course the 1 lap at the beginning of the formation. Now here's Chugi. He's taking a nice line through there. Wyatt's not so much of a nice line. It's very important to get at a good line there for maximum exit speed for this very long straight. Now then. They're being closely pursued by, I believe that's KRD, having recovered from his incident. And there is Ladinator at the front, and he's gone off. He's gone off onto the grass. That's giving Tokyo a very good opportunity in the next lap to overtake. He's off again. No, which one? Yes, this is KRD. He's gone off the track twice just in the last few seconds. It's an overtake. Ladinator goes off. He gets pushed out to the outside, nearly doesn't make it. And now the new leader of the race is in the Honda NSX. It's Tokyo. It's the number 31, and Ladinator is behind and having to now put pressure on where previously it had been pressure put on him. Pressure under which he seemed to have cracked just if only a little. He manages to get back a little bit of time, and it's a very close battle for first. Further back, it seems that there's a few more drivers clumped together in the mid part here. It's Olaf leading the midfield, and the 2 Toyotas making up the back. Oh, it seems it's a very bad exit there for Chugi, and his teammate overtakes. Very clean, very straightforward. You can see them coming up in the background. Here is Jers in the Honda, and there we're back to the front runners. Ladinator is still chasing the Honda at the front. the Honda of Tokyo as they come up to the end of that lap. Now here at the back is a very, very close battle indeed. It's Kaladin in the Mercedes and Double Apex in the number 93 Jaguar. Now this is a very close run thing, as you can see. It's very difficult not to hit the back of the other car. It seems Kaladin is indicating, he's using his indicator. Is it possible that he's going in for a pit stop? It's just possible, but no, he's not going in for a pit stop. It's possible he was just indicating to show that he was trying to use his... Whoa! Good heavens! What an accident! It seems that Olaf went off, but he was during the time on the gravel, he was kind of shunted by one of the Toyotas that had also fallen off the track. Now, clearly not a deliberate incident. Nonetheless, Olaf will be feeling pretty miffed, I dare say, at that, because it's taken him longer to recover now. He's right at the back, whereas before he had been at the head of the midfield pack. Now, at the front, it looks like things are a little bit closer. No, this is the midfield pack still. Right, so that's Riot at the back of the midfield group. He's managing to catch back up, and it's the Viper ahead of him. Now, is it 5 ahead of him, or is it KRD? Now, here at the front again. It seems Legionator has managed to take back his place. We didn't see that happen, but it seems like quite a gap. I would hazard a guess that Tokyo managed to fall off the track. There's Chugi. He's getting quite close now to the car in front, to Jers. Now there's Ladinator, and there's the pack behind. I'm really not certain what it is that caused Tokyo to fall. Possibly he had a little upset there at the first turn at Paddock Hill Bend. It seems to be where everyone's going on. Now it's a very, very close battle. Is he going to be able to overtake? Is Chugi in the Toyota going to be able to overtake Jers in the Honda in this time? It looks like he's having a little bit of a look. It doesn't look committal though. It doesn't seem like he's really going for it. It's 4 cars very close there, very closely packed indeed. And, they're all going down the straight now. The cars behind Jers will all be benefiting from aerodynamic wake, but I don't think it's enough. They aren't able to overtake quite yet, but it is very close. They're all clustered there. It's very, very tense, and Jers must be feeling an awful lot of pressure. He does, and he's gone off. He's gone completely off the circuit. A little too much. It must. I know how it feels. It feels like being ganged up on, honestly. And here are at the front, and Tokyo has managed to catch up quite considerably to the car in front, to Ladinator. Here again, the pack behind, the 2 Toyotas very, very closely matched. It's Chugi ahead of his teammate Riot, and it does look like there's going to be an overtake. Here it comes. Here it comes on the home straight. Yes, a little bit of a touch there, I think, but they're not intentional, not between teammates, I shouldn't think. Now, there they go. They charge off into the hairpin here, and it looks like Chugi has taken quite a bad line through there, but manages to avoid being overtaken. It's very close though. He's having to defend against the car behind. He's being weaving over behind him to try and get an advantage, and it looks like he's got the speed advantage. Can he overtake? He's going for it. He's really going for it, and he manages it. Yes, he does. There's a little bit of a touch there, but it's nothing serious. KRD has managed to overtake Chugi, and at the front here we catch up with Ladinator and Tokyo, still in a very close battle for first. It's lap 11 so far, and nobody has yet pitted. It's quite interesting. That means that presumably everyone's using the hard compound tyre, because otherwise it will be very difficult for them to last for this long. There's KRD. It seems like he's just had a little bit of an incident. He's not driving very quickly at the moment. Now then, how is he doing? Yes, because he's fallen behind. He's fallen behind the pack that's in midfield. He's actually behind one of the Jaguars at the moment. Now there are cars in the midfield grouping, and there's Double Apex, who has made it past KRD. And here is Kaladin. He's doing, reasonably well, better than his grid position. He's in 9th place at the moment. Now then, here are the two in the front, and here is 5 Signs, not too far behind the front two, but we can't quite see him. He's not quite inside. Now here is a pit stop, the first pit stop of the race, and it's Delinquent. He's come in. Now, is he out on another set of hard tyres, or is he going to mediums? I don't suppose I'll find out until later. It's a very close battle here. We've got Jers, we've got 5 Signs, and an incident. It seems Jers has lost it again. Same part of the circuit as before. Similar kind of incident, I dare say. Here he is trying to recover, and yes, he's been overtaken. He's been overtaken by Kaladin, and is now running 9th. It hasn't really been his day today. Now here he is. He's going to try to claim that position back. Let's see if he can manage it. It's going to be a straightforward duel between these two. Now here he is now, and we're on board with him now. We can see the lines that the drivers take through this turn. Kaladin's gone off. Kaladin's gone off at that treacherous first turn, and Jers has managed to regain his position. Now here again, it seems that Ladinator has lost some time. He probably went off perhaps on Paddock Hill Bend again, losing time there. If he could remain consistent, he could certainly claim the win here. Certainly he's the person I think is most likely to. Now there's Kaladin again, running 9th, trying to make up for his mistake in going off at Paddock Hill. It's I believe though that Jers is being a little bit more careful through these turns. Now another pit stop. This is Ladinator. Now that's interesting. He's the first of the front running group to pit, and none of the others are pitting on the same lap. Now who's this? Who's this that's gone off? It's 5. 5 has gone off at Paddock Hill Bend. It's claiming an awful lot of cars today. And here's Chugi. Chugi's coming to the pits as well as KRD. There's more and more cars coming into the pits now. It seems that lap 13 is when everyone, well, not Olaf, is coming in now. 13 laps. It's not quite. Well, it is the half distance, 13:26. But there was a formation lap as well, so of course that must be considered. So here's Kaladin. He's in the pits, and he's coming out now. And what position will he be in? He is, of course, at the back of the pack now, considering that he was only in 9th or 10th beforehand. There's Tokyo, and here's Wyatt. Now, of course, since Ladinator has been in the pits, he's down to 4th. It's going to be a question of how quickly he can catch up with the others on his more fresh tyres, and the drivers ahead of him are more worn out. They're coming into the pits now. They're coming in on the 14th lap, that's including formation, and so they will have 13 laps left to run, perhaps giving them a little advantage near the end of the race. Now here's Ladinator. He'll want to be ahead of everyone else as they come out of the pits. It seems that Tokyo is already out though. He's out and ahead. Now that's very close there. I would say that they're touching certainly, and they managed to get out of the pits without incident. And it's Chugi and Fives, I believe, or was it Wyatt and Fives? It's difficult to tell. Here's Olaf. Olaf has come into the pits now. It's a quick tyre change, but then of course he'll need a lot of fuel. Here's Tokyo coming round to lead the race, and Ladinator behind. There's Jers. Jers is going to be wanted. He's going to be ahead of Olaf, and so is Kaladin. Now this gives Olaf everything to play for there. Other cars in sight. Now here's Chugi. Chugi managing to keep up with Double Apex, I believe this is, ahead in the midfield pack. There's still quite an intense battle for 5th and 6th going on here. We're on board with KRD, I believe, taking an aggressive line through Hawthorne, and then a little late braking there. Not quite as good of an exit as he may have hoped for. So here, KRD in 7th position, chasing for 6th position, and he's gone off again. Off at this turn, off at Sterling's, and having lost some time. Now we're here with Olaf. He's very keen to overtake Kaladin. It's a battle for 9th position. And Kaladin's made a bit of a bad exit there. It seems like a mistake there. And he's off. Speaking of mistakes, KRD, what a stunning pirouette there. I think he's going to have to reverse onto the track there to get back. And here behind, he may even be overtaken by these two. Having said that, I dare say he's now back on track. Still, it will close up the midfielders and the back markers here. They go round Pilgrim's hairpin, and Pilgrims, I meant Druids. Now here's on board with Olaf. Kaladin makes a little bit of a mistake, but it seems that Olaf doesn't quite manage to capitalise upon it. They go round into Surtees. And there's a little bit of gap. It's all down to who can get a good exit there. It seems they both get a reasonable exit. Olaf perhaps a little better in the slipstream of Kaladin. Now in the pits at the moment is right. Yes, of course, Tokyo in the pits. He was the last to pit out of the group at the front of the race. Now. Yeah, this is a very interesting fight between the two. Is indicator used again? Now it looks like he's kind of all over the track though, so it's difficult to say whether it's a signal for the benefit of anyone in particular. Fives here, and there is Ladinator leading the race with Tokyo just behind. It seems that after the round of pit stops that we've had in the middle of the race, they've more or less kept their position. It's lap 17, soon to be 18, and there's Chugi, who's in the 6th position at the moment, quite some way behind the front runners. Here in 4th, Fives, followed by Vyats. Vyats has done a good job of recovering from early mistakes and trying to recover position. He's got the podium position. He's got 3rd in sight, but it remains to be seen whether he'll be able to take that position. Now here they come. They're about to enter lap 18. And Ladinator almost having a bit of trouble, almost going off there. having managed to build up a reasonable lead. Just every 100th of a second counts. Now here's third position, Fives, followed very closely by Riot, Ladinator, and Tokyo, 5, and Riot. Very, very close grouping here. Battle for first and a battle for third going on in close proximity. Now here's Olaf catching a little grass here on the inside. There's Kaladin behind. Seems like a bit of a gap, also a bit of a gap between him and I believe that's Delinquent. And here's the front again. Oh, he's gone off! He's gone off! Ladinator's gone off. Now it's not cost him too much, but it will have cost him some time. And there's Fives and Riots who will also be very keen for any disruptions to the two cars in front. Now on board with Riots, it's quite close. We can go under the bridge here, and we can see that Fives is certainly doing well, but the gap is very close. Now there's Tokyo, and there's it looks like there's an overtake. It's an attempt, probably not such a. It's not going to be successful. I think no. He's not going to pass around the outside. Not there, but it does enable him to keep up the speed and momentum. We go round Druid's hairpin, and here at the back. Oh, it is a close battle now between Kaladin and... Whoa! He's gone off! Oh my word, that did not look so good. There could be a penalty over this. And there's Delinquent. He's slowed right down. I think he knows perfectly well what he's responsible for. He's going to... I believe he's going to let Kaladin pass. He's using his hazard lights there. Indeed, he does let Kaladin pass. That's a good move there, and having effectively self-penalised himself, that effectively restores the balance, although both drivers of course will have lost an awful lot of time to those ahead. Now here's Ladinator, and there's a very close, it looks like Riots is going to be able to overtake 5 at some point soon. He's certainly putting in a very devastatingly fast pace. Closing that gap, it's much closer than it was before. Hounding him, he's certainly bullying him through these turns. There, front, Ladinator, followed by Tokyo. Both of whom have made one pit stop. It's likely that they're on a one-stop strategy. Bit of dirt kicked up there, nothing serious. And here's a car to be lapped. Now, I believe that this car is being lapped is Delinquent. We'll have to see. It's the number 82. Now, it's the responsibility, of course, of lapped cars to make room and let those leading the race to pass by, although it's quite difficult in narrow circuits such as Brands Hatch for those opportunities to arise. Now, Ladinator, Tokyo. You can see the blue flags out all over the place. They are out for the Jaguar driver. And here we are. It's going to be quite difficult. It's not easy for those that are being lapped to be able to make them, unless they slow down and then they give up their own fight for whatever positions that they're trying to go for. It's very close. Here we are. The number 31 Honda of Tokyo is still behind the Jaguar. Now he'll be feeling rather irritated that he hasn't been let past yet. Can certainly feel his frustration. Now then, is the Jaguar going to move aside? Is there enough of a gap that he feels he doesn't have to move yet? It's very close through the first turn there. More dust being kicked up. It's got to be soon. It's certainly got to be soon. Otherwise, he'll risk facing some kind of a penalty for holding up those in front. There you can see them all sweep past. You can see their relative positions very well here. And yes, he does pull aside. He slows down, goes partly off the track. He's got the good sense to slow down and let them past. and manages not to lose too much time in doing so. And now behind is the Dodge of Fives, who will be looking to catch up and catch up with the top 3 drivers. Here they are now, and it's lap 21 already. It's coming to the closing stages of this race now, with the top 4 drivers very, very close to one another. It's certainly going to be a very interesting conclusion to this race. Now there's Tokyo. He's not done quite as well as he has in previous laps, but of course he is stuck in traffic at the moment. Rushing round the final turn, and they head into lap 22. All staying very close, all being expertly careful not to make contact with one another. And now there is an incident. It's the number 82. It's delinquent. Only a back marker though, so it doesn't upset much about the race results. Now here are the top 3. So close, you could barely fit a cigarette paper between the 3 of them. And it looks like there's an attempt at an overtake. No, it looks like he's bottling it. Yes, it's not quite enough. Not quite enough. He tries to. He goes off. He's off. He doesn't manage to quite hold on to the track there, but he doesn't spin off either. He manages to keep his position. He must have had absolute butterflies in his stomach there. Now here they are. Now it looks like another overtake, or an attempt at least. Oh, good grief! There's 3 abreast, three cars abreast for just a moment. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. But it's Riot that manages to take the advantage, and it's Ladinator who falls off the track, manages to recover, but just ahead of Fives. I'm sorry, but Fives now does I believe he will be seeing smelling blood in the water. He'll want to seize 3rd position at the very least, as we come now into the 23rd lap of this 2027 lap. You could say really it's the 22nd lap, as the first one was indeed a formation lap. He's gone off. Ladinator has gone off. His usual problem is with the turn 1 with Paddock Hill Bend. Gets overtaken and is now in 4th position. That's exactly the kind of opportunity that 5 would have been waiting for. We're here now with the race leader Riot, who, as you recall, set the fastest time in qualifying and started the race on pole before succumbing to a number of accidents and mistakes in the early stages of this race. His Ladinator is 4th and trying desperately to make up for lost time and lost space there. You can see that he's not even visible in this group at the front. Oh, it's Kaladin. He's being lapped, but it seems that there's been an impact. It's possible, mistakes do happen. There's another impact there. It seems that there's several contacts taking place here, and I wouldn't be surprised if there were some penalty, as there's the first incident. It was actually sort of driving into Riots there. Now here we are with Ladinator, and he's still got. There's no one in sight. Yes, it seems that. Whoops! Oh, that may have been another contact. I'm not sure, but it seems that there's been a stop-go penalty awarded to Kaladin. He'll have to, on the next available opportunity, come into the pits, stop the car with the pit crew, but would not be allowed to take on board fuel or fresh tyres. But it seems that now here's Double Apex. He's also he's actually competing with Kaladin here, and is chasing closely behind. And there's Fives gone off a little bit too enthusiastic, perhaps through Surtees' turn. Now, as I was saying previously, Double Apex or was it Delinquent? I'm sorry. Yes, it's delinquent for double apex is in 5th position. I do beg your pardon. Delinquent, perhaps pleased to learn that his chief rival at the moment will have to take a stop-go penalty as we catch up with the midfielders. Now, this is a very close battle for 6th. It's Chugi in the Toyota that we can see ahead in orange and blue, and KRD, who's trying he's having a look to see if there's any potential for an overtake. Now, it seems that they're on worn tyres. It's going to start getting difficult to go through some of these turns, the long sweeping right-handers, one of those being the treacherous Paddock Hill bend, so the circuit becomes more and more treacherous as tyres become more worn out. Here again, the race leaders, Riot in the Toyota and Tokyo in the Honda, and here's the number 82 Jaguar delinquent coming out of the pits. Whoa, there's an accident. It's the other Jaguar. It's the other Jaguar, double apex, gone completely off there. I was just saying how much more treacherous this course becomes once tyres become worn. Now, this is lap 25 of 27. We are on board with 5, and he's still got some distance to go. Now, there's the other Viper, and he's chasing Chugi. Very, very close battle. Probably, at the moment, the closest battle in the base. It's all a matter of who blinks first when it comes to the kind of aggressive driving from both here, defensively and offensively. KRD seems to have a slight advantage with aerodynamic weight and goes for the overtake. Maybe premature, comes back in. It's not quite there yet. He's going to have to do a little bit better and get more of an advantage if he's going to overtake at all. Chugi is perhaps feeling the pressure here, goes clipping over the corner, which is fine. That doesn't cause a shortcut penalty. Now, here is the number 82 delinquent, and here's Ladinator in 4th. The race leaders all reasonably spread out now. In fact, you can see on the map that the red arrow there is currently representing Ladinator in 4th, and there's a huge gap between him and the 3 drivers in front. Now there's Chugi, still in that battle with KRD, and they go into the penultimate lap. It's I suspect that Chugi will be able to hold him off until the end of the race, and it does seem like KRD has had a little bit of a mistake there. Nothing too serious. He's still behind. Goes up to him again. Still, no, he gets a little bit too close. There's very little chance of overtaking around Surtees. It's all about maximising exit speed, and I think KRD has failed to do that. On the other hand, he is catching up. Again, perhaps making his move a little too early. Yes, that's some defensive driving from Chugi, all right, as he moves in, but it's backfired. It's backfired, and he goes off course. He goes off course, and KRD manages to overtake. Oh, sensational stuff there. It seems that the pressure was a little bit too much. Chugi had moved to the inside and it goes back again. It goes back again, and KRD slips off. Now, what's going on with KRD's pace? I'm not entirely certain. It's possible that he will be trying to conserve fuel as much as possible now, because he does seem a little bit slower. It's quite interesting, actually, because with the fuel settings at the moment, to do a one-stop strategy, that all of the drivers here really have had to strike a very delicate balance between fighting for position on one hand and, of course, saving fuel on the other. You really have one or the other, but not both. You can try to strike a balance, but in the end you're going to have to make some compromise. Now, here at the beginning, it's the final lap. Sorry, at the front, not the beginning. It's the final lap. We're coming to the end now, and it very much looks as though, barring disaster, it will be right. Now, this is KRD, but it looks like it sounds to me like he's out of fuel. Yes, he's setting a very, very slow time. I would say that he's run out just at the end of this race. But here, the race winner, Riot, takes the checkered flag to finish the Nitroglycerin Sunday Cup at Brands Hatch. Absolutely astounding drive, and there the drivers behind it. It looks like Tokyo has also run out of fuel. Also, either that or trying to run off some penalties or something, because he's just given up second place to 5 in the Dodge Viper, and there was Ladinator taking 4th position. Here are the two Jags. The two Jags managed to cross the line pretty much together, although one being a lap ahead of the other. It's Double Apex in having taken 5th, and now with no KRD to worry about, it'll be a simple matter for some of the others. Here, in fact, is Jers going to take that position. KRD moves aside, actually moves onto the gravel. Not sure how intentional that is, but he is getting out of the way of Jers, who takes the position from the ailing Dodge driver. Now here is Olaf to get 7th. Now there's Jers. He goes off the track. It doesn't matter because there's no one around who can overtake him. There's Ives, who's taken 2nd. And there's Jers. He's just coming around the last turn now to take 8th position. And KRD is essentially, he's coasting to the end of the line. Now Jers takes the checkered flag, and here's Riot. It's a very well-deserved win. It's been an absolutely stunning drive from early mistakes now to victory through the mistakes of others, but also due to some very seriously fast driving. That just about concludes the race, and I hope everyone watching has enjoyed it. I certainly have. So, the results. Riot wins and takes 20 points, and this trophy here. 5 in the Dodge takes 16 points, and Tokyo takes 14 points. Then it's Ladinator, Double Apex, Shugi, Olaf, Jers, KRD, Delinquent, Kaladin, and Valuted, who did not finish the race. Now the team results. First, with 29 points, the Toyota LOE GT. Second, with 22 points, the Dodge Here's Your Sign team. Third, with 21 points, Honda Rodnot Racing. Then 7 Minute Men, Fierce Motion, Apex Seals Out, and then Bents Boys. Thank you for watching. We hope to make more of these in the future if this one goes down well. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.